Hello everyone. Today I'm gonna refactor this code because here I have a very long and complicated widget, as you can see here. So it is hard to read through, as well as it's not easy to maintain. So before we start, please don't forget to subscribe, give a like and share. Here the first thing I'm going to do is splitting the widget tree into two widgets. First thing, all you have to do, just right click on lib, then create a new package, just call it widgets, then click enter, then create a new Dart file. I'll call it bottom sheet form. So here we have the virtual device. I'm going to remove this part, the bottom sheet, into a new widget, and this new widget holds this bottom sheet. And since this bottom sheet has this static form that will never change, I'm gonna make this new widget stateless widget. So just type here STLESS bottom sheet form. Then import the material package and go back to the main, then scroll down till you reach this container. So I'm going to remove this container. Actually, I'm going to move this container into the new widget. And inside here, just remove this part, container, and paste the container we had from the main Dart. Remove this comma. Here we have some error that I'm gonna fix in a few minutes. So first thing, import the HTTP handler. So here we are inside this package, so we need to get outside of it to the root. In order to import this HTTP handler, two dots to get to the root, then the HTTP handler. Also here we have this error message that means we still need to move these two controllers. Just paste them here at the Since we are using a stateless widget, we cannot use set state. You can only use this with the stateful widgets. So I'm going to work around this. For now, I'm going to comment this part and fix it later. So here. Also here. And here. Just gonna copy this one to close the form whenever I add a new link. When I run this app, we will have one issue, that whenever I add a new link, the list will not be updated because we cannot use set state inside this stateless widget. So I'm going now to run the application and see. Now all you have to do, just go to the main, and here now all we have left to do is importing the bottom sheet here in the main .dart. So import, it's inside widget package, then bottom sheet. Then scroll down, and here pass the bottom sheet constructor. That's it. Now you can run the... Actually, here we have two errors, which is this part. I'm going to move this function to the bottom sheet class. Paste it here. Then let's... everything seems to be good. Now I'm gonna run this application. As you can see, nothing has changed. And when clicking on this add bottom, we have this bottom sheet just popped up. And going now to test it and see. Test www.test.com. Then click add. As you can see here, the user interface is not updated and the new link is not displayed because, as I mentioned before, we cannot use the set state here, so we cannot update the state of the app, so there's no way it's going to be displayed. I mean the new link, it's not going to be displayed here. We can solve this issue by adding a new function here. This function returns nothing, so it's going to be void. And I will name it update user interface. Update UI. Then async. Inside this function, I'm going to call get total links and show snack bar. And I will explain why just in a few minutes. So here we have to await to get the total number of links. Then here set state, and inside of set state I'm going to call this function show snack bar, and here this function takes an argument which is going to be the text message. So text As you can see here, we have this new function which can be used inside the bottom sheet. So all we want now is updating the user interface to get the new link displayed. Therefore, all we have to do now is pass in this function to the constructor of this bottom sheet form class. So just all we have to do now is scrolling up to here, and inside of this constructor I'm going to pass the update UI without the parentheses, because here I don't want to execute this function. All I want is to point to this function. We still have to do something here. We need to add a constructor. First, before adding a constructor, we need to add a new final function, and I'll name it function. And here just repeat the name of the class to create the constructor, then pass to it to this function. Function. Whenever this constructor is initialized, we can use this function inside this class. We got an error. It's a named argument, so I have to call it function. Remove this comma. Now I'm going to go over the code again. Here we have this function, update user interface, and it takes an argument, which is the text message that is going to be displayed in the snack bar. And inside of this function, I called this get total links to get the number of links. And then we have this set state that will allows us to update the user interface. And after that, the snack bar will show up and displays the text message. And here we have the constructor of the bottom sheet form, and inside of it I passed the update user interface, and here we have created a new property of type function, because we know all we want is passing the function here. And as you can see here, I didn't use the parentheses because I don't want to execute this function. All I want is to point to this function. Now, if you want to use this function inside this class, all you have to do, just copy the name of this function and scroll down here. All you have to do, just paste it here, then add the parentheses, and inside of the parentheses we still need to add the text message that will be displayed in the snack bar. So here I have double quotes, comma, semicolon. Then I will do the same for the rest. Function. I'll copy this text message, then paste it here. Also here, function. Copy this part, the text message. I guess that's it. Now I'm gonna remove these lines because we don't need them anymore. Now whenever I click on add a new link, this function will be executed, and it has this set state, and it's going to update the state of this class of the main, and the snack bar will be displayed, as well as the new link will be displayed. So I'm going to click on hot reload. Now I'm going to test it and see. Test 2020 www test2020.com. Here I have this error message that says unhandle exception type string. So it is this one. This function doesn't expect string to be passed to it. It is expecting a text. So all you have to do is just add this text widget and then the message. I'm going to do the same for all. Now I'm gonna click hot reload and test the application again. Just click add. Good. Now it's working with no issues. As you can see here, the code is way simpler than before, and it is easy to maintain. And whenever you have an issue or you want to add something to the form or to the bottom sheet, all you have to do, just go to the bottom sheet form and do whatever you want to do, and that's it. You don't have to change anything inside the main. I'm going to go over the code again to make sure everything is clear. Here we have this bottom sheet. I just moved it from the main to a new widget, and it has this stateless widget. That means we cannot use the set state to update the user interface. Therefore, I had to create a new property of type function, then creating the constructor, and then passing this function to the constructor. And as soon as this constructor is initialized, we can use this function inside this class. Let's go back to the main again. Here we have the constructor here, and I pass the update UI to it. As you can see here, we have this function update UI, and it takes an argument of type text, and inside of this function I call this get total length, then set state. As I mentioned before, we cannot use set state inside the bottom sheet form. We can do it this way. So all we have to do is just point into this function inside of this constructor. So here, whenever this constructor is initialized, we can use this function inside this class. All you have to do is just pass the message you want to display on the screen, and whenever this function is triggered, the user interface will be updated. So that's it for today. See you in the next one.